Everything we're going to do in Krav Maga, every punch, kick, or elbow, are going to come from one basic and simple fighting position. Our fighting position looks like this. Left leg forward, right leg back, knees slightly bent. Hands are out protecting our face and open. Elbows close to the body, and the body is rotated a little bit to the right to create a smaller target. Our feet are about shoulder width, knees are bent, and my back heel is raised at all times. That will give me a much stronger spring as I'm connecting. Now, why are we getting into this position? What is the logic behind this fighting stance and not any other fighting stance? Rob, can I get you for a second to put your feet together? All right, we're going to start with the width of the base. When the feet are together, if I push even a light shot to any direction, you would see that you would have to adjust very naturally, automatic, to all directions. Now, Rob, I'm going to ask you to put your feet apart. Once we do an open, a wider base, if I push from the left or from the right, you notice there's a lot more stability. If I push forward or back, now there needs to be adjustments. Now we're going to take the left leg forward and the right leg back and keep our knees slightly bent. On light shoves, you see that there is almost no movement whatsoever. Every leg creates a strong base on all directions. If I do a stronger shove, it's a much easier position to recover to than any other position. Right? We go to our students, okay? Pushing forward from the sides, even from the front. Right? Now, as we get hit, as we get strikes, this is a much easier position to get into. This is our fighting stance. The first two strikes we're going to learn today are a jab and a cross. A jab looks like this. From our fighting stance, from the side. On a person, and I have you facing me, Rob, on a person, the jab goes into soft spots in the face, namely the eyes, the nose, the jaw, and the throat. Those are going to be my targets for jabs. Couple of points from our fighting stance. I close the fist like so. 1, 2, thumb over the second finger. And from here I extend my front hand. I put my hip into the rotation. I straighten the arm, but I do not lock the elbow. I keep the elbow slightly bent. And then I bring it back into my face. I never want to lock the elbow. I don't want to hyperextend my elbow. I strike and I bring it back into the face. Everybody fighting position. On my cue, we're throwing a jab. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very good. Our next strike is called a right cross. The right cross looks like this. From the side. On a person, the same exact points as the jab. Nose, jaw, throat. This is where we connect with the soft weight. On the right cross, I make sure to pivot my back foot on the toes, driving my hip into the strike as I extend the elbow out. My shoulders will rotate, which means my back shoulder will become my front shoulder and back into fighting stance. The base for the power starts with the feet. The foot turns out, the hip integrates, shoulder integrates. I always exhale as I connect with the strike and back to fighting position. 1, 2, 3, 4. On my cue, a jab cross. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Jabs and crosses are tools we use at medium range, about this range, jab and crosses. If I'm a little bit farther out and I cannot quite reach with my jab and crosses, but I recognize open nose, jaw, throat, and I want to get in there, I'm going to have to use my feet to close the distance. We call this a pounce. Pushing off the back leg, from the toes of the back leg, I shoot my front foot forward and throw the jab at the same time. As I land, I continue with the right cross after my back foot has landed, driving a powerful cross using my hips and my shoulders for a powerful strike. On my cue, a pounce on a jab cross. 1, 2, 3. On an attacker, it looks like this. For beginner students, I recommend to practice on a somewhat large target, but do make an attempt to hit the same exact spot on that small target. So from here, center of the bat, this is what it looks like. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Another option is to use Muay Thai pads or focus mitts. And now the targets are a little bit slower. You still want to connect exactly in the center of each pad. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like. 1, 2, Great. All right, excellent work.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Good. Now
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.